there everybody, and welcome back to the Blossom Crochet channel. Now this is a tutorial that you have been waiting for. Now not all of you obviously, but some of you have been waiting for 7 years. Now that is an absolute outrage, isn't it? And I'm so sorry, but you have been waiting for this for so long, but I have finally done the tutorial for it. So as you can see from the thumbnail, it is a really beautiful textured woven scarf pattern. So it's a few rows to repeat, and then you'll repeat the sequence over and over again until it's as wide as you want it to be. Now sadly, that beautiful scarf that I made, which is in the thumbnail, has long since departed this household, and I'm really sad that I didn't film an intro for a video with it because it was so beautiful, done in that really soft grey. Now this is a pattern that works, I think personally, best with a single colour yarn, so that you can really appreciate the stitch definition and the texture that you build with this pattern. Obviously you can use variegated yarn if you want to, it just may not be as obvious, all of these stitches. It is completely up to you. I'm just used for this sample piece here, I've just been using some Shapey's Chunky Monkey in this gorgeous pale blue. Now it does have a slight sheen to it, so I apologise if the stitch definition isn't quite as obvious as I would like it to be on the camera, but in real life it's just beautiful. You're definitely going to want to go up at least a half hook size from whatever your selected yarn recommends, just so that you keep a little bit of drape, because it really is a chunky, beautifully textured scarf. So there are timestamps and lots of information in the description box, so please do check the description box for any info that you might want that I haven't mentioned. But also, if you don't subscribe to my channel, then please do so now, and also click on the little bell icon so that you can choose to receive notifications, so that you never ever miss when I upload a new crochet video. So that's all that out the way, and now we're just going to go in with the actual tutorial. But yeah, I'm really sorry that I don't have the full size one here anymore, but hopefully you can get a really good idea of what it will look like from the thumbnail and from this sample piece that I've worked up here. So you'll be starting obviously with your slip knot on your hook. Now there is no multiple for this pattern, you will just chain as many as you want until your project is the length that you want it to be. So quite often we chain the width of a scarf, which is usually 5, 6, maybe 7 inches at the most, but this time we're going to be chaining the length of the scarf. So your chain is going to be much longer. The length of the scarf is completely up to you. It depends what look you want to go for. Whether you want a scarf that's literally just going to go around the neck and then you can fold it over at the front and zip your jacket up, then obviously that will be a little bit shorter. But if you want one that goes up and then around the neck once, maybe even twice, and then back down the other side, then obviously you're going to need a much longer chain. So just have a little play around with your measurements, or maybe look up some scarf measurements online and work from that. So like I say, there is no multiple, you will just chain the length that you want it to be. So obviously yarn over, pull through, that's 1, 2, you don't really need to keep count, obviously you're just going to chain until it's the length you want it to be, and that is where I will meet you in just a second. So as you know, I'm just working the sample piece, so I've got a chain now and I'm going to work back along. So I'm going to be working into the 4th chain from the hook, so we've got 1, 2, 3, and this will be our 4th, and we're going to be doing UK trebles. So please remember, like I say, I'm working in UK terms, so in the US these will be your double crochet. So yarn over, insert into that 4th chain, yarn over and pull up, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, UK treble into the next, and you're literally going to put 1 UK treble into every single chain all the way along. Okay, so you've got your row of trebles. At this point I'm going to turn my work. You can chain 2, or you can do what I'm about to do, which is create our treble height stitch. So we're going to insert our hook into the top of this first stitch, yarn over and pull up, yarn over, pull through both, and then we'll go behind the post of the stitch, yarn over and pull up, yarn over, pull through both, and that just gives us a treble height stitch but without any gapping that we would get with a chain. Now for the whole of this row we're going to be doing front post trebles. So again, UK terms, these will be front post doubles in US terms. So yarn over, we're going to go around the back of that next stitch, yarn over and pull up, and then you'll complete your treble as normal. So yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And you're going to do a front post treble around the next stitch. So again, around the back of the whole of that stitch, yarn over and pull up and complete your treble. And you're going to do that all the way along. So a front post treble around every single stitch from the row below. I really apologise if you can hear that in the background. I'll try and edit it out. But one of my cats has decided that she needs to drink for the world right now. She's been going for about 5 minutes already. And another cat's scratching my newly painted chairs, which is always a bonus. So I'll see you towards the end of this row in just a second. I'm getting towards the end now. I've got one normal treble left to work around, like so. And yes, the cat is still drinking. And then we've got those skipped chains, and into that skipped chain you're just going to do a half treble. Because we've been doing post stitches, they're not as tall as normal trebles, so we're going to just do a half treble. So yarn over and pull up, and yarn over, pull through all 3. So that is how you should be looking at the moment, and when we turn it around you should see that we've got that beautiful ridge starting to form. So again, now I'm going to start in the same way. Into my very first stitch I'm going to insert my hook, yarn over and pull up, yarn over, pull through both, and then behind the post, yarn over and pull up, yarn over, pull through both. On this row now we're going to be doing back post trebles because we want these ridges with these stitches to all be on the same side. Whoops, so we're going to be doing back post this time. So yarn over, and you're going to go around the back of the stitch and cross in front of that stitch and out the other side, so you can see that stitch now is pulling out towards the back. Yarn over and pull up and complete your treble. Again, I'll show you. Yarn over, go around the back and insert and go in front of the next treble. Yarn over and pull up and complete your stitch. And again. So make sure that you're pulling your stitches apart so that you don't miss any stitches, because then your count will end up being a bit off. So if you just complete your back post treble around every single stitch, and I will meet you towards the end once more. I'm getting towards the end. You can see I've got one normal stitch to work around, so I'll do my back post stitch, and then I've just got the top of that treble height stitch that we did in the beginning of the last row, and you're going to be working your half treble. So remember, we're always going to be finishing with a half treble because we're doing lots of post stitches. So finish with that half treble, and this is now how you should look. You should have 2 rows where you've got these ridges. So again, we'll turn and do your starting stitch or chain 2, it's up to you. And now we're going to be starting some weave stitches or rice stitches, however you want to call them. So around the very next treble you're going to do a front post treble, around your next treble you'll do a back post treble, so coming in from the back and around and back out again, and complete your stitch, and then switching back to a front post. And then you've probably guessed it, you'll go to a back post, and you will do that all the way along again until you get to the other end. So you'll be alternating front post and back post stitches. And I'll see you in just a tick. The cat has finally stopped drinking. So depending how many stitches you did on your foundation chain will depend whether you finish with a front or a back post treble. It doesn't matter, it's whatever you finish with. And then you need to make sure you do your half treble into that very end stitch. So half treble and then turn, and obviously this is the front of our scarf. This is the one that will have the most texture. We're going to do treble height stitch again or chain 2, it's up to you, to start your row. And then we're going to be doing opposites basically. So my first stitch is sitting out towards the rear of my work, so I know that I need to do a front post treble around that. However, if your first stitch sits out towards you, then you will need to do a back post. So like I say, mine's sitting towards the back, so I know I need to do a front post treble around that first stitch. And then my next stitch is already sitting out towards me, so I know I need to do my back post treble around that stitch. And then again, for me, it's my next front post. And then my next stitch sits out towards me, so that needs to be my back post. And again, you'll work that all the way along. Again, you'll work your very final stitch around that last proper treble, whether you need front post or back post. You will finish that one, and then you'll do your half treble into the top of that very last stitch. So that is how you should be looking at the moment. So now we're going to repeat rows 1, 2, 3 and 4 again. So you'll do your front post trebles, a row of back post trebles, 2 rows of rise stitch. Okay, so repeat rows 1, 2, 3 and 4, and that is where I will meet you once you've done a full repeat of what we've already worked. So I will meet you there in just a second. Obviously there will be timestamps in the video description to help you jump easily from the tutorial sections for row 1, 2, 3 and 4. So make sure you use those if you need them for the reminder. Okay, so I've done my pattern repeat of row 1, 2 and then my rise stitches of rows 3 and 4. Now at this point, if you want to do another full repeat of those 4 rows before you do your final 2 rows, then you absolutely can. However, I'm just going to do my final 2 rows now, and then I will show you how to add the optional little border sections. But like I say, if you want a wider scarf and you want to do another repeat of those 4 rows, then just do those now and then meet me again to do the final 2. So the final 2 rows are literally just a repeat of row 1 and row 2, because I like to have a little bit of symmetry, so I want the start and the end, so I want both sides of my scarf to look exactly the same. So after your 2 rows of rise stitch, you will repeat rows 1 and 2 again, so your row of front post trebles and your row of back post trebles. So again, I will leave you to do that. Repeat those final 2 rows, and then I will meet you for the optional border. Okay, so once you have completed those final couple of rows to build those last ridges, we are ready to add the really simple, if I just bring my phone in, you can have a see what I mean. You can see on this picture there is a really simple frilled edge that can be added to both sides of your work if you want to. It's completely optional. But if you do want to add that little bit of detail, then you're going to turn your work around, and straight into that first stitch you'll do a UK double. So yarn over and pull up, yarn over, pull through both. So obviously that's a single in the US. You'll chain 3, you'll skip 1 stitch, and then you'll UK double in the next. chain 3, skip 1 and UK double, and you'll just repeat that all the way along. Like I say, it's completely optional, and it'll depend on the recipient as well, because you know, they may or may not want the addition of this little bit of extravagance. So I will meet you in just a sec. So I've got my 2 stitches left, 1, 2, 3, and my final skip 1, and my very last stitch for this row will be my final double. And you can see that just adds a little bit of extra detail. Obviously this is the back of your work, so you would snip off at this point and then attach your yarn. Turn that around so you can see it from the other side. So that is how it looks on the front of your work, and it really does add a nice little bit of finishing detail. Now at this point you can chain 1 and snip off, and then grab your yarn, and you're going to, if you've done the frill, you're obviously going to want to repeat the frill on the other side as well. So into my first stitch I will just bring up a loop and chain 1, and then you can chain 3, and again you'll skip 1, so you'll skip there and then you'll work your UK double into the next. Chain 3 again, skip 1. Obviously this one's a little bit different because you're working into the chains, but you can see where the trebles are coming up from, so you can skip 1 and then double in the next, and you'll just repeat that exact same process. So after working your frills on both sides, it will look like this. So you can see all of that gorgeous texture, and I absolutely love it, and I so apologise for it taking so long to make this video, but that is it for this one. If you have liked it, please do like and subscribe to the channel and leave me a comment to let me know what you think. But I will see you for another tutorial really soon. But thank you as always for watching, and bye for now.